Use it. Oh no. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Larissa and this is my channel. So today I'm going to be dyeing my hair from this reddish color that I dyed it literally at the beginning of January, a few days after the new year, to a dark chocolate brown because that's closer to my natural hair color, and I'm just not really digging the red anymore. It fades really fast and it shows off all my split ends that I need to go get cut off eventually. So anyway, this is what we're working with right now. I don't know how easy it is to see, but we're working with this red color. It's faded out. My roots have already begun to grow in, which again, I don't know if you can see. My hair is not in the best condition right now because it's dirty, because I don't want to dye my hair right after I clean it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it while it's still dirty and has some oils in it, so I can pretty much kill two birds with one stone. Plus, you don't really want to dye your hair when it's super clean anyway, because then the color has nothing to stick to. So I went to Sally's Hair Supply and I got the one and only Argan Oil hair color in the color 3CH, so 3 chocolate pretty much. This is dark chocolate brown, and I really like the one and only Argan Oil hair color because it comes with 2 applications. So if you need one application, if your hair is a little bit darker, or not darker, if your hair is a little bit shorter than mine, then you can just use half of the tube. I'm gonna use the whole thing though. It's 3 fluid ounces, so if you were going to use half, it would be 1.5 fluid ounces. And the ratio from this is 1 part color, 2 parts developer. Now they didn't have any one and only Argan Oil developer, which I really like, so I went ahead and got the Mystic Divine Luminous Shine developer, and this is in 10 volume because I don't need to lighten my hair anymore. We're going to go darker than it is. And this is 6 fluid ounces, so the ratio is, like I said, 1 part color to 2 parts developer. So I'm just gonna use 1 part color, which is 3 fluid ounces, to 2 parts developer, which is gonna be this whole entire bottle because this is 6 fluid ounces. This is pretty affordable. The Argan Oil dye itself is only $7, so I rounded it up from $6.59, and the volume developer is only $2.79, so super affordable. I already have a lot of tools and stuff that I'm gonna use, like my bowl and my brush. You'll see that here in a second. The rest of this video is going to be in voiceover format, so I apologize for that, but I'm not gonna film while my boyfriend's home. I'm not gonna do any voice stuff, at least. Let's get to it, and yeah, here we go. So here I've got some black reusable gloves in medium, and then I have this whisk to mix the color and developer with, and then of course the color itself. This is going to be 3CH in dark chocolate brown by one and only Argan Oil hair color. I love this brand. And then they didn't have any of that developer, so I went ahead and got the Mystic Divine because it was the closest thing, and I just got 10 volume because I'm not trying to really lighten my hair any more than it already is. And then of course I have this Protect It that goes around your hairline and keeps the dye from staining your skin, which is awesome. And then here I just have my little mixing bowl. To the right of it is where you can put your brush when you're not using it, and then I just have these clips that I also got from Sally's, and then the brush itself. And so I'm gonna start out with just brushing my hair and making weird faces, and just make sure there's no tangles or anything like that, so it's gonna be easier for me to section it off into different pieces. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to section it off into little pieces using the little stabby thing on the end of the brush to help me get a nice crisp line between sections. And then I'm going to secure those up. I like to usually do 3 sections just to make time feel like it's going by a little bit faster, but obviously you can use as many sections as you want to make sure that everything gets saturated. And then the bottom 2 I just kind of divide into 2 sections, so that's what it looks like from behind. And now we're ready to mix the developer and the dye. So the lid of the dye has a little stabby thing that you put in there to open it up. So I'm going to use all of this dye, and it's 2-to-1 ratio, so I'm going to put all of the dye in and then all of the developer in. It's actually, I don't recommend smelling it, but that developer didn't smell bad. I wanted to see what it smelled like because it said it had argan oil in it, so I just wanted to make sure. And then before I start dyeing, I'm going to put this protective stuff that smells like apples around my hairline and all over my neck, because whenever I'm done dyeing it, like, it just gets all over my neck, all over my head, and if you have to be somewhere later, it's not really the best thing to have just dye all over, especially if it's red dye. That's something I've learned as well. So I'm gonna open up my whisk. I actually ended up hurting myself with this plastic package, so be careful when you're opening stuff up. And I just kind of whisked everything around. Before today, I really just used my brush, but the bowl that I'm using is not big enough to really use my brush and get it all mixed together. So I mixed it until it was all mixed and creamy and even, and then I was ready to go. So I put on these black reusable gloves that I got from Sally's. Usually I just buy new ones because they're only like $2, but I got these and I just started with getting my roots very nicely and just making sure I saturated the roots. I don't really worry too much about making a mess just because I want to make sure that I get everything. I honestly don't know how actual like stylists do this. It's so messy, but I usually just, I just kind of go for it. I lay some towels down and I just paint all over my different strands of hair. I usually go over it twice, so whenever I finish, I let all my hair down and go over the parts that I think need to be redone. So this is the end result. I'm extremely messy, but at least I did put on that stuff that protects my skin. So I very carefully put all my hair up onto the top of my head, and I get a bag out, like a little grocery bag, and I wrap it over my head to protect other things from getting dirty.
What are you doing?
You made such a mess on you.
Yeah, on me.
Did you get cleaner racks for that? Out of the top of the shelf? I'm almost out of those.
Hurry up now. Babe, you can just use, you can keep using them. Just wash them.
Oh, you need to use new ones whenever you touch paint. Why do you think my
Well, where'd you get them? I'll buy you some new ones.
How many have you used
Just
before?
these two. Before I used like 4 of them.
Every time you dye your hair, do you go get these?
Yeah.
You get lucky because it looks like grease, so I'm like, huh, I don't care. They're like $20 for like a 30 pack.
So luckily I did use this barrier cream for the dye, so I am able to wipe it off. I made a mess, but when you have that stuff, it's better because, I don't know, I think it's better because I can actually go faster and not really have to worry about making too much of a mess on my body because I can just wipe it off. I just put warm water on this towel, and I have set my timer for 25 minutes just because before I set my timer, well, it's 23 minutes now. Before I set my timer, I had already started wiping this stuff off for about 5 minutes or so and just like cleaning up and things. And I still have a lot of dye left, but I mean, I'm not gonna use it. Oh no. It's okay, it didn't hurt that much. Nothing happened. Okay, so I am going to, oh, and I also made sure like with the extra dye that I went through and made sure everything was like completely saturated. I wasn't missing any specific areas, so that's done. So I guess I'm just gonna wait until the next 20 minutes is up and then I'll wash it out and I'll see you guys when I'm done. Hey guys, so I just wanna show you what my hair looks like after I dyed it. So I really like it. It's like a kind of a deep chocolatey brown, which is totally what I was going for. I was kind of afraid that it was gonna look too black at first, which there's nothing wrong with black hair. I'm definitely gonna have to get some new eyebrow pomade though, because this stuff is not dark enough. I really like it. It's really close to my natural hair color. My natural hair color is not necessarily like a dark chocolatey brown, but more so like just a super dark brown, almost black. So I'm really excited to finally have my natural-ish hair color back. Hopefully it doesn't fade too bad, but in the sun I'm really liking what it looks like, and then in the shade it just kind of looks just really dark, almost black, but pretty much just a dark brown. So I'm super happy with it. I totally, definitely recommend the one and only Argan oil hair color. Not sponsored, by the way, because it just leaves your hair feeling like so nice and soft after you dye it. I do need to get mine trimmed though, because I do have some split ends. It feels so healthy. If it wasn't winter outside, it wouldn't be so darn staticky, but it's so dry out, so my hair is really, really staticky, unfortunately. I need to get something for that, but like a lotion or something. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions at all whatsoever, feel free to comment down below or contact me on my social media. I don't know why I said that with an accent, but okay. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, subscribe, give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and I will see you guys next time.